Hello everyone, this is Greyshot 117,
And Greyshot 151 here.
and we're going over today another movie.
Yes, released from the DC palette. We'd like to say that we completely agree with the critics. Batman v Superman was a horrible movie.
Look, I will stand it with my opinion. Batman vs Superman is a piece of shit, but it's a piece of shit with a few glimmers of hope.
And in this movie, those turds manifest into a decent film, a pretty good film actually.
I would say it's probably one of the better blockbusters to come out so far. Like, again, I'm not saying this is a perfect movie, but the amount of shit this movie has garnered over the past few days,
Especially from critics, I've
noticed. Yeah, and it's just like, guys,
chill.
Batman vs Superman was the correct choice. I mean,
Listen, you guys were right with Batman v Superman. You could have pointed a gun at it and put it down out of its misery.
Yes.
No arguments there.
Take Zack Snyder, get him to the Joker behind the corner, and let him do his thing, and it would have been great. Now, here's the thing: I go into this film like, oh no, come out of this
Mild
film.
expectations. Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start off with probably the better stuff. This fleshes out.
Let's go the individual villains. So,
okay,
Suicide Squad is comprised of basically, if you don't understand the plot, and we'll try to stay as far away from spoilers as possible. But essentially, the idea of Suicide Squad is
again, I'll put a spoiler warning up at the top when we do.
The government, specifically Amanda Waller, who's in charge of Cadmus. Think of like CIA.
Tyler. Amanda Waller, head of a government agency, is recruiting supervillains or very powerful villains in an effort to reduce their sentence and give them some good stuff in order for them to do top-level government positions.
That superheroes can't do.
Or the government wants to happen. For example, they can conflict with the Justice League, but it's for government interests. That's the thing. But the supervillains are like, okay, we get out of jail and we can do this thing. That's great. Because but if they're caught, they're blamed. Yeah. It's like they're villains. They're blamed. That's the thing.
The other note is that the government very much is not. Remember, Justice League is supposed to be. If you kind of want to go with the moral high ground, Justice League would have the moral high ground. At least.
Well, here's the thing about Justice League.
Hold on. I'm counting.
Yeah.
I'm leading to this.
Okay.
If you can imagine, the Justice League is. There's good and there's bad, and I'm guarantee you that's going to be what it's very much shown. It's kind of like not like Captain America: Civil War. It's more like the Avengers. You have a clear-cut sign of good and bad. And that's kind of like the Justice League, what you would imagine. But for the government, as you know, government's some things government does is for the good. Sometimes it does the bad for the good intentions. Yeah. And that's what Suicide Squad kind of finds its noodle of hope to do, where it forms from. So, first off, we have Deadshot. Will Smith.
This is probably I like Will Smith in this role. This is like, I'm glad he's in this role.
Well, first off, dude, where have you been? I mean, I missed you. Last thing was like Hancock? Really? I mean, Pursuit of Happiness was good.
Pursuit of Happiness was like 2004. We've had Hancock. Once again, kind of weird thing. There was I Am Legend. He did that.
I still think that's a good movie.
There was like
minus the ending.
There was a movie he did 8 pounds, and that was okay. He then went to, if I recall correctly, directing. And he directed Karate Kid, and he did with his son.
He tried to have his star.
Spent a few more years, did Concussion, which again people say that's a good role. It was not a great movie, but he did a good performance, and now he's in this. And I feel like in this, it's like, first of all, good job picking this other than Independence Day, so at least you can read a script and you know a better script. We'll get to that in a moment.
To be fair, the old actors of Independence Day made it good. But in any case, let's go back. So Will Smith character.
I think Independence Day is getting more shit than this movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Completely.
Yeah. But the thing about this, I will say, is his performance is really good. He does a solid performance in which you root for the guy all the way through, and you see how you can despise him. You see how he's a good character, and you see all the different shapes. Again, he's doing it for his daughter. That's the thing about Deadshot.
He's still a murderer. He's still an absolute killing machine.
But he
has a core that he tries to go, and that's his daughter, and that's the thing that he does not want to be snuffed out, destroyed. He very much cares for his daughter, and even goes to the point where he will not There's a small scene involving another superhero, which I thought was very touching. Honestly,
yes,
with his daughter, and it's like it very much showed the line he would not cross. But next, speaking of, we also have Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie.
So,
good. I would say she's not as good as Will Smith's character. I mean, okay, we're gonna rate this on a good, okay, and bad for the
she's
characters.
Good. Yeah, she's good.
She's a good one. Yes.
Yeah. There's a lot of times that she hit, very few times she missed. Like same thing with Deadshot. A lot of times he hit, a lot more times, but very few times he missed. Same thing with Harley Quinn. I thought her performance was very interesting. I wish I could flesh out her more. I wanted that a lot more, especially with her dynamic with the Joker. If you know, Joker and Harley Quinn are a thing. So I wanted to see that fleshed out more. But that being said, with what we got, I was fine. That said, I have one small gripe about Harley Quinn.
We'll get to that.
No.
Okay.
No. This is just about Harley herself. I think that they underutilized her. I think she could have been a better performance if they incorporated her a little bit more, and I'll explain that when we go
another character.
I'll explain that when we go into spoilers.
Next up we have, I would say Killer Croc would be next.
Okay, we'll go Killer Croc. Killer Croc, great supporting character. Hired muscle, not much else.
I'm going alphabetically here.
Okay, yeah, there's something actually about Harley Quinn I do want to go into. But anyway, let's move on.
Killer Croc, solid. Basically, he's kind of like the muscle of the group. He's very reserved, but he's much more animalistic. There's not too much to say about him because he's not a character they really flush. Yeah. I would say he's one of the weaker members of the squad. But what he does is still pretty cool.
Yeah,
there's one shot. There's a sewer scene, subway scene which is flooded, which I think they kind of should have put more influence in.
Okay, again, we'll keep going and then we'll go to spoilers.
But he definitely is pretty good there.
Captain Boomerang, he's mixed. I thought he was.
Yeah, he was okay.
Same thing with Killer Croc. I thought Killer Croc was good for what he was, but there wasn't much fleshing out. And if you again go into further, Captain Boomerang, interesting character, funny.
I like the fact that he has a boomerang. Like he's self-aware.
But he wasn't he brought nothing to the table. I was waiting for that. Oh, here's his explosive boomerangs or something.
Which he throws. He throws like tons of boomerangs, but none of them are like memorable. Like that's the thing. Like he tries to. It's kind of funny, but like for the rogues, he kind of was like the meh.
Yeah.
Then there's also Slipknot, who.
Moving on. So then we also have. Oh wait. Then we also let's go on other characters.
Let's finish the squad, which is El Diablo.
Yes.
I think that's the only. Who's the? Am I missing anyone?
Yeah, you're missing someone, and I don't want to say it. Because again, that would be spoilers.
Well, you mean part of the squad.
Fine. A person in the movie, Katana. Okay, Diablo, Katana, both great in the same realm.
Yeah.
For the little amount of time you have comparatively to Will Smith and
Margot
Robbie. They did great. El Diablo was a great gangster who you rooted for, and Katana was a tragic backstory that you got. And
they have a minute screen time with her, and I honestly would the moment. Okay, so first of all, let's go to El Diablo.
Yes.
Basically, he's a guy that literally destroyed everything in his life, and he's kind of like repenting for it. Like he's very much unlike all the other heroes who just hates the guards, hates everything. He's just in his own captured hell essentially.
Yeah.
He's in a container. He just wants to be left alone. Like he honestly just wants to.
Even when they're like, "You went out," and he's like, "No." And they're like, what? And like everyone else is like, yeah, definitely. I went out of here, and he's like, no.
Yeah, he wants to be because again of what he did, he wants to be in his own little hell, and it works so well with the character. I was rooting for the guy.
Same thing
and especially with his ending, which I won't spoil, but it is probably the one moment.
The strongest moments in the film.
I was rooting for the guy. I was like, kick his ass, and it was great. So you also have part of the Suicide Squad. Oh, we forgot one, Enchantress.
Yes,
she's technically part of it.
She is a part of the Suicide Squad. And again, spoilers.
She's also
She is both a very good and bad character, in my opinion. I would say probably a mixed character, if you want to go. Again, I would like to go, but we'll wait a little bit further. Continue on. We also have, again, Katana also great. Mandawala, who leads this, done by Viola Davis.
We should also note Rick Flag.
Oh, Rick Flag. But he's... Okay, yeah, he's
the leader.
Yeah, so he's the leader, and although he conflicts with Deadshot, who wants to be the leader, and the reason I say this is because Rick Flag is a government agent, essentially. He's like a black ops.
He's like one of the best soldiers they have. He's a leader, and essentially he is tasked with he's tasked with leading these band of misfits essentially, or at least making sure they don't try to kill each other. And the biggest thing I have for him is he's very much a. While all the other characters have like moments and they like their personalities, he's very much the character that I guarantee most people. Most people probably not going to know about going into this.
Yeah.
Like, you might know one, you might know Harley Quinn, you might know Deadshot, but coming in, you really don't know too much about him.
I want to be the guy who's like, I know Captain Boomerang.
But
that's all you know.
I
know Slipknot. This is going to be a great movie.
Sorry. But no, the fact of the matter for him is, he's very much the heart, I would say, of the Suicide Squad. Because of his connection to Enchantress. Because Enchantress essentially is two people.
So, that's a spoiler. That's a fucking spoiler.
Put up the spoiler.
God damn it!
Just cut it.
You do it every time.
Just cut it.
I'm not gonna cut it. Alright, yes. Spoilers. We're putting spoilers up here. I can't take it anymore. Enchantress is two people, and probably one of the best parts. Her villain is both great because it's like an Evil Dead vibe you get from her.
No, it's Grudge. And even it's fucking Grudge. Yeah. It's literally like she's contorting and moving and fighting. It is by far, I thought that was one of the highlights because
it's like,
imagine the ghost in the Grudge fighting, like her contorting her body, like she literally contorts her body, stops a punch from behind. And
so like Will Smith is fighting and she just does like, okay, I'm done, and she's like fight again, hand to hand, like 4 people at once. I'm like,
yep,
okay. But that being said, Enchantress is a villain. The person she's controlling is like a horror movie. She's trying to get control. I'm like, DC.
They basically have something that
I'm sorry.
They basically so the human that controls that she's possessing.
Yes.
And it's great because she essentially is very much the heart of the story because you kind of feel for her. You understand like, oh my god, that's like a horror movie, and I wish they would have went a little bit more.
The first moment she speaks, it's "help me," and it's like, oh wow, and it's like you can see she's literally building her personal hell with Enchantment, and like, oh god, and it's funny because the government's like, oh, this is a great weapon. Rick Flag's like, oh god, this is a tortured soul, and she again, I wish there was a more. Again, the problem with this film is they keep adding stuff and they don't want to explain. Like for example, Slipknot. You could have, like, there's no point of him in the movie. The whole point is to show a head explode. Because guess what? They put injections to blow up people's heads so that way they don't go off mission. Makes sense.
Here's the note. If you wanted it to... I knew Slipknot was going to die the moment that he was introduced. Because 2 characters are introduced. Essentially, all these other characters are given a backstory.
Yep.
Essentially. And then there's a base,
no,
which
three. 3 people are introduced without the intro sequence.
Which is...
You have... Well, no, 2. Okay, yeah, 2.
Slipknot...
But Captain Boomerang is off its own thing, so I'm like, why is he here? Why is he in the prison? That was my first, like, okay, that's weird. Secondly, you have Katana, who just walks onto the plane, and you're like, wait a second. Spoiler, she's not part of Suicide Squad.
Yeah, that was my favorite, I have a lot of favorite moments. What? The fact that Katana was not, because she's in the comics in Anti-Hero.
You see her walk up?
She's basically, her whole shtick is, her husband was basically killed by the sword that she carries. And his soul is trapped in the sword. The sword basically traps any soul that it kills inside of it. So essentially, she's like hunting down the people that killed her husband.
Yeah.
Which comically, you would think she wouldn't want to trap her husband with all the people that killed him, but I think it's just a soul. But it's comically, she is like that. When I saw that, I was like, oh no, she's gonna die because I liked her. When there's a brief moment where she's tearing up and she's talking to her husband in Japanese, and she's telling him about like she's just basically just talking to him, like he's there, like please, I'm so sorry I couldn't be there,
I might die, and I was like,
I might die.
And it's like
I will have vengeance.
Damn it, DC, you can do great moments, but then you fuck up.
The big ones.
Yeah, it's like, okay, remove Slipknot from the equation, because all the Slipknot does is come up, shoot a rope, die. That's all he does. That's why I don't care about spoiling him, because he's in a minute tops. I don't think he says a word. He's just in there. Dies, and I'm like, oh god damn it. What you could have done is you could have removed that, because all you do is, again, you're like, oh, this is great, guys, we can show how, the bombs are real. It's like, no, you motherfucker, you don't need to show that. You could have showed that honestly in a dummy, and then you actually kill an important character once you build them up. For example, you could have killed Captain Boomerang, and I guarantee you that would have been a more impactful death if he was trying to get out, because he's the person always trying to get out. And if you there's a moment in this film where shit hits the fan, and it's just like, I'm done. Like, again, it's like, I don't need this, I don't want this, and you could have made a hard decision with
Okay, so we're gonna go into pure spoilers first, because first off, I would.
We're already in spoilers.
Okay, well, first off, if they would introduce Slipknot like the rest of everyone and then killed him off just like that, that's more impactful.
Yeah.
The stakes are higher. You understand these
That's
people
like
can die.
that's like adding a sixth guardian for him to die immediately, and it's like, wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. Like, if they, I honestly wanted, like, no offense, Killer Croc, but like Killer Croc or Captain Boomerang just to bite the dust, because it shows the
Killer
stakes.
Croc grew on me
It's also
over
a Suicide
time.
Squad. No one died other than Slipknot, really. I mean, come on.
Okay, spoiler: El Diablo dies.
Okay,
but
okay,
he
true.
goes out with a fucking bang. So it's
Yeah,
not
he
like...
doesn't die out like again. But yeah, okay, true.
But here's the thing: he went out as a hero. Slipknot went out as a villain. You could have changed that with another villain, because they are villains. Yet you kept showing them as, like, I get it. You're showing them as three-dimensional characters, and what I liked about that was you showed them as three-dimensional characters against a villain who was a one-dimensional plan, which would have been amazing, especially this, because again, here's my scenario. Get rid of Slipknot. You kill Captain Boomerang at a midpoint in which Joker, which by the way has been kind of staging a coup to escape
with Harley.
Yeah, escape with Harley. And by the way, Joker's not captured, but he's trying to figure out a way to get Harley, and he's been doing stuff around the scenes. But by the way, again,
pretty well done. Yeah, I like
Jared Leto. Oh, Jared Leto. There's not much you get, but I would say it was a pretty good performance.
I would say he doesn't do anything that stands out.
I want to see
he
him
doesn't
go...
do a Heath Ledger. That's what I'm saying. He's not. You don't get. You're not instantly captured by him.
He's not Mark Hamill.
Making a pencil disappear.
But
the major note for him is there's a moment in the film that would have been perfect if he would have joined. Essentially, like you said.
Yeah. Kill Captain Boomerang. You put Joker in there, and then
like Joker's trying to rescue everyone. He's in a helicopter. Captain Boomerang should have been like, hey, hold on. Everyone just stops fighting. Can I come with you? And then he's like, ha, blasts his head off, and then the helicopter, then basically Amanda Waller, they capture the situation, Deadshot puts him down, like, or something, they get him out of there, and it's like, and he's stuck with the group. Like, it would have been great if Joker would have been with the group, and then
Joker wasn't
Amanda Waller could have got on, and the story could have continued pretty much unopposed.
Yeah. And then and there's a great scene in which you see, that it would have made me, so like, would have been made so much better when Enchantress gets inside everyone's heads and shows them what they want. Diablo's like, fuck it, I know what I did.
For Deadshot, it's like killing Batman and his family. Yeah. For Harley, it's a family with the Joker.
Which is amazing, by the
which
way.
is great.
And then
nice
Rick Flag is with Enchantress, the person possessing Enchantress.
Oh, and El Diablo's with his kids. Yeah. But it's like, again, they build up him regretting that decision so much that he doesn't want it anymore.
I also think like some of the, like, again, we know he's mystical and it seemed like that, so I'm like, oh, this might be some of also his more mystical side, like helping him out as well. But again, they didn't need to explain that, but you need to explain some other stuff. But anyway, what would have been amazing is you see inside Joker's mind, and a Joker doesn't care for Harley as much as that. Like, I get it. They're setting it up like he is, but I would love to see his like ultimate goal, because that's what she was showing, like what everyone wants. What I would love is if they show Joker just like in his chaos, just pure fucking chaos, Batman dead, except or Batman in his own hell and stuff like that. But they don't have Harley. That would have planted the seeds for the next Batman film to be like, they explore Batman, Harley, Joker, because you set it up.
You know what they also should have done? They also should have, the chaos, or they should have had, when Joker goes inside his head, and they just cut to Batman laughing. I would have...
Oh my god!
That would have been beautiful. But instead, they drop Joker. Literally, he disappears to the end of the movie. Yeah. He's just gone. And...
I mean, they show us falling... Oh, by the way, flares. Secondly, the helicopter that shoots him out of the sky pops out of nowhere, once again, and then... Again, they fly really low, and by the way, Enchantress's brother.
I think they were trying to avoid everything.
What?
I think they were trying to avoid like the mystical, lightning tornado shit.
But why deploy flares?
That way they could get tracked, or maybe.
You don't deploy flares against lightning. You deploy flares against rockets, which would have been good if there was rockets on the ground. But we know with the chin hook, there was no rockets on the ground shooting them. So them landing and going there and coming back would be fine. I don't know what, but anyway, moving on once again. Enchantress's brother, she unleashes to free him. Because right now, Enchantress's only weakness is this heart, which Amanda Waller has.
Basically, her original heart.
Yeah. So Amanda Waller, has like a bunch of statues stuff like that. Well, she unlocks one of them, which is her brother,
which is a cool opening.
Yeah,
cool opening for him.
So who possesses someone who, again, she does, because she can like teleport anywhere, which is really cool. Again, and she infects someone that infects more people, and then creates the brother. The brother then goes
basically the strength. He's the brute.
The brother then unlocks and helps free Enchantress. Enchantress then starts making, I guess, the real power, and starts making these like I don't know, mudmen, the things you see in the trailer.
Yeah, so, those are her, like, basically people she turns. She turns, like, anyone she... By the way, she turns them by giving him a kiss, for the love of God.
Yeah,
which was
there's a couple thousand kisses. Because they said, 3 days? Which, by the way...
If this 3 days?
Yeah, they said fucking 3 days with this. And I would be like this. If this was 3 days of that thing in the sky going around... If they're so fucking nuke happy about hitting Superman and this monster who's showing, like, going into orbit, that thing would have been leveled in 2 seconds, because this apparently nuke government is nuke fucking happy. Unfortunately, that's the problem with with a continuity. Unless you explain it, like, why would the government be so prone to nuke downtown? Oh, it's Hydra who wants to capitalize on this. I'm like, that's genius.
Also kill the heroes, yeah.
That's fucking genius, and I don't know what you're gonna do, but unless you're gonna do Hail Hydra with all those government agents, which I highly doubt, you're not going to explain that big fucking flaw and why every time a supervillain comes up, they don't just hit nuclear launch code number 5.
Yeah, it was, I did like the destruction sequence across the world. That was kind of cool.
Again, they showed the destruction around the world, and how, again, they were kind of using Amanda Waller to target locations. Because, again, what Enchantress was doing is building up a storm that would tear down all aircraft and then slowly spread that around the world and destroy all power and everything, using just lightning and like, that was cool. Like,
she just need time to charge it.
Yeah, she was just charging it so that way she could. Which brings the question, how fucking powerful are you if you were then locked away and you were like tribesmen? Which, by the way, there are complaints about her outfit. I didn't mind, because again, we're talking about people 6,000 years ago, they didn't wear much clothing. So that's why I'm like, okay, I do find it weird
Harley
wearing
Quinn
a beard.
more or less.
Yeah,
so.
It's like that. I'm like, okay, you have her classic jumpsuit in there from the animated series, which looked a little weird. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if you.
Well, it's like that. I don't think it would have meshed. I mean, that's why these characters look different. It's because trying to pull something off in real life isn't going to always go. Look at Bane. Bane, they tried to incorporate, like, the I guess he never really had a mask.
Well, in Dark Knight Returns, he had a mask, but he didn't.
But no, in the comics. In the comics, like, he got really bulky, and they tried to imitate it the best they could.
Some cases, yes, some cases, no. But, like, the thing I say is, like, you don't need that red and white jumpsuit, but you could have done a variation that they've done in the comics to make it more live action, and it works. I forget the I forget what it was in, but you could essentially remove the top part and just have her in, like, essentially, like, that type of clothing, actual, like, it doesn't have military, but, like, that clothing, and it makes it a lot more realistic. The really short jeans and the, like the scratched up top. I'm sorry, you're going into a military situation. I get Croc. Croc has, like, hard skin. And then you think about Boomerang. Boomerang's like, again, he's like, he doesn't care. Katana, I'm questioning why she doesn't, but whatever.
Well, I think because they didn't. I don't think they.
And Deadshot has, like, this full outfit, like, battle military gear, and then you have some people that make sense why they don't, because they have native protection, and then some people are like, yeah, just whatever. And I'm like, what?
To be fair, that's their shtick, though. I mean, they evade gunfire, and usually Harley Quinn, though, had a gun and stuff, and yeah, each one had their own strengths.
But
for Katana, though.
By the way, they didn't tell anyone about this mission, about what they're facing, which is weird. Why you could at least say, hey, there's these people, because Rick Flag makes a joke like, oh yeah, this is a normal, people, terrorists, AK-47s, the whole shebang, and then you see cloud with lightning. That's funny.
They weren't even going after. Think about it. They never went after the target. They never went after the main Enchantress. They only went after the high value target. Their whole mission was only to retrieve the high value target. They were never meant to fight Enchantress.
Oh my god, you're right. What was the military gonna do? Like, oh my god, the military, by the way, which was really cool scenes. You see the entire area get destroyed. Oh my god, you're right.
What were they?
What were you send something? Like, if you're having this whole military battleground thing, if Batman's off doing his own thing. Let's be honest, and he's not gonna go into a goddamn thunderstorm.
They should have shown like the Flash like go in like for a real
Oh
like
my god!
something.
You set up the Flash. You set up all these characters. Like, what was your main? Like, and I could see why. Like, again, there are plenty of plot holes in this film, but it has a lot of character that you can get through that with some of the characters, not all of them. But like I said,
okay, so Batman v Superman had so much bad that it overshadowed the good to like 10 to 1.
God.
For this movie, it's kind of the opposite effect. Not to that degree, but it's like I would say like 70% of this movie is good.
Yes.
30% of it is kind of just wire bad.
Yeah.
Or characters aren't fleshed out or things of that nature. And that's honestly I recommend.
Yeah.
If you want a good, it's not Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah, it's not even that funny.
It's not that funny. But it's a little bit zany. It's a little bit. It has a lot.
Oh,
of
by the
action.
way, okay. Here's my problem. Another thing. They have music from like. Again,
oh my god, yes.
It's like
they literally. I swear to God,
the first 20 minutes are just fucking pop songs. I'm like, what the hell?
DC does not know how to match people. There's a moment. I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen. I kid you not. They're trying to introduce the characters, and some of it works.
Yeah.
But then they cut. Okay, I want you to imagine this. Please imagine this. They cut to Killer
Apocalypse
Croc.
Now with Killer Croc.
It ain't me. I know this song. Like they cut to a Vietnam song for a man crocodile. Why?
What the fuck kind of correlation? Like when people say that apparently there was that there was a trailer company that edited part of this film, I will say this and be like, oh my god, you're right. Because there are scenes in this where music is meant to emphasize or to help or like to hint or like you can use it to make a film better, but it has to fit. When you throw in a random pop song, which is why when they do that, the Kanye West with the Assassin's Creed, Kanye West isn't around in ancient times, so I don't care if he's doing it, which is why it doesn't fit. In this, they have so many fucking songs in the first like 30 minutes going over everything. I get it. You want to go through everything fast. You don't want to take your time. You don't want a 2.5 hour Batman vs Superman snore fest. But you had great characters that was fine if you have that extra time. That's fine. But if you're going to add them in, it's like then just add them in. Don't try to be like, okay, we have to go fast, because that's how I felt. Like I'm like, guys, slow down. You're on a fight. It's like you're not running a race. Like you can slow down and take an extra 30 seconds. Yeah. Don't include Slipknot. Fuck Slipknot. I'm sorry. Don't include characters you don't need to. Hell, you could have gotten rid of a lot of like random little bits and stuff like that. For example, you didn't need to and this is another thing. You didn't need to show Harley Quinn being tortured by guards if you're not going to somehow get back at that. She's being tortured, by the way, through like the most like she has a thing being force-fed ice cream through her nose while she can't breathe. And I'm just then there was another scene where she has no top around a bunch of men in a shower where she's in a corner crying. And I'm like, okay, I get it. You want to show her messed up and tortured, but why the fuck are you showing that if A, you're not gonna have Joker kill the son of a bitch, which I wanted, by the way.
Yeah.
Because like that like it's great seeing a villain, but it's even more it's more enlightening when you see a villain fight other villains, which is why I liked the final showdown, even though it was kind of a bit of a mess in some areas. When you highlight certain villains, for example, Viola Davis is Amanda Waller shooting a bunch of random people, you're showing that yes, they are bad people, but you're not giving me a reason to fucking care. I get it. She's a bad FBI crook, like not FBI, but she's a bad government agent, like doing things. But you don't need to have her kill people for me to get that. You don't need the guard to torture people for me to get that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I get it. It's like you want to show monsters and everything, but it's not working.
In any case. So, honest thoughts.
I would see
very good movie. Has a lot of problems, but still is able to get there, and I am excited for a sequel.
Look, my emphasis is the DC we need to go dark thing is still in this film, and I would be very aware of that. It's not as funny as Guardians of the Galaxy. The thing that makes up for it are the characters, where I didn't care for Superman because, well, Superman was a dull, flat piece of board. Will Smith and
They
Margot
bring some
Robbie.
art to it, and they bring some good moments.
By the way, sorry about going on that rant. I just hate when people like, guys, we have to be dark. We have to be dark. Let's think.
Batman v Superman is the reason why any DC
Yeah.
movie will not be that dark anymore, because it literally was dark for the sake of being dark. And okay, what makes a good dark movie is if you have a balance with the characters.
You need to
there
balance
needs to be
out.
a hope of there needs to be rays of light, and there needs to be.
Well, it depends on the film. Like, for example, there's that what's that film with, like, it's the 2001. It was like a whole Requiem for a Dream. That film was all dark, but it's meant to be dark because it's dealing with all sorts of addictions. When you deal with, let's say, something like here's a great example. Captain America Civil War. They know they know when to laugh and they know when to cry, and they do have a good example. Batman was just, let's go fucking Requiem for a Dream, and it doesn't work when you have a guy in a bat suit fighting a man that can fly
and being super. Yeah, it just.
You can have a dark moment. Batman itself is dark, but if you watch the Batman animated series
or anything Batman, he's not always like that. You can only dive
even during the
darkness
Killing
so
Joke, which I kind of want to see, the anime movie. It's not all dark. There are tiny little bits that will make you up. There's all that
that's not Mask of Phantasm is much better. He needs a light.
Yes. Okay. There we go.
He looks for light anywhere he can. And
I was gonna say, I know that there is a quote unquote and Batman. I watched a quick thing with the Joker doing a whole Broadway musical, and it's actually just. It's very interesting, but it's both comedic and dark. You can have that balance, and that's what my brother's getting at. Balance it out, and you can make something great.
Because essentially, I make note, Batman is supposed to represent someone. He's supposed to be a light that fights the darkness using. Essentially, he's supposed to be something that goes into the darkness and fights it. He's not supposed to be. The whole point of Batman is he's not supposed to succumb to anything he's around because he's supposed to be the hope.
By the way, I love.
Okay, we're going way too
but
far.
Actually, incorporating Batman, I like in this film how he was actually fighting supervillains. You actually see him fight Joker, Harley Quinn, and Deadshot. So I'm like, good, you're actually using Batman. But the thing I will question is, did Batman go on hiatus for quite some time, right? So if he was in hiatus and then came out with Superman,
I'm pretty sure they're gonna retcon a lot of Superman. Let's be honest.
How much? No, but my question is, when did Deadshot go into jail? Boomerang was caught by Flash, which again, my problem is you have Flash show up. He has a bunch of lightning. Once again, I'm not looking. I don't like the lightning aesthetic to him, especially blue lightning. Which, if you're doing Flash,
be red
or yellow, because, again, I get it. You want to make sure it's not the same as the TV, but you can do the same thing as long as you are... Anyway, it's different characters. Point of the matter is...
Okay, so Suicide Squad. Good movie. Highly recommend.
I like how the Batman vs Superman button, it's because it's insane, I can keep going back.
We just want to press it. We just want to slam down on it and just destroy it.
Where is it? Where's Batman vs Superman? Where is it? I want to beat it. But anyways, this movie I would recommend. Again, move away Batman vs Superman on its own. Does this film hold up by itself? I would say a lot, yes. It definitely sets up some characters. It definitely has some low points, but has some really great, interesting moments that make it a good blockbuster movie, and definitely something that is not deserving of the amount of hate the decrease in the low reviews critics gave it. I will say this:
I think they were over hard on it.
Critical, again, I don't mind with Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
The critical score for this film does not equal where I personally would put it at. I would put it I'd probably put it at 60, a solid 60 or 70 on Metacritic. Again, that doesn't mean I believe in Metacritic, but most of my films I would assess that. That doesn't mean it's as well put together.
I would say it's as good as the Man of Steel. I would say Man of Steel had problems.
Or Legend of Tarzan or whatever.
Yeah. It's not Captain America: Civil War where
that's
great,
9 or 10.
Or Winter Soldier.
But it's not
Iron
Batman
Man.
vs Superman 2 or 3. It's just above the middle. It's like a good movie. That's where it should be. A good movie.
So that is what we recommend. That's our thoughts. Apologies on the spoilers, bro. But in any case, we will see you guys next time when we, or actually maybe just you, because I'm going to be gone for probably a week or two.
Pete's Dragon possibly, and also Kubo.
Kubo, yes, I'm
to see
excited
that.
for Kubo because I'm a big fan of the animation house because the same people who made Coraline, Paranorman. Troll was okay, but Coraline and Paranorman were really good. So, anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and we will see you next time.
See you next
Later.
time, everybody.